Maybe it's on top of that TV.
Brendan, is this on the local channel?
No.
It's just recorded. Just recorded.
I'll set one.
Okay. Calling to order the meeting of the Historic District and Historical Commission at 732 Main Street. It's March 18th, 6 p.m. I'm Bob Doan. I am standing in for Mary as chair this evening. Could I have a roll call, please?
Brendan Lowney.
Lynn Zalisak.
And Paul Doan.
Thank you. Recording notice. According to Mass law, anyone who intends to record the meeting must first notify the chair, who is then inform the other attendees at the start of the meeting. I assume nobody's recording? Okay. Open public hearings. Start with HH 2026-08, JNS Cape Houses LLC through their agent Patrick Jacobs has filed a notice of intent. The project proposes demolishing the barn and rebuilding the front porch of the main dwelling. The structure is over 100 years old, according to town record of sourcing records, and located at 97 Route 28, map 10, parcel W5-7-0. And this is continued from February 18th, 2026. So if the representatives could come back up and have a seat. Is nobody here representing this article? Well. I think then we can continue it till the April move, okay?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And what is the date, Lisa?
April 15th.
April 15th. H 2026-09, Timothy G. Ewart, owner, through his agent, Antonia Butwell, Architect AB Design Collaborative, has filed notice of intent. The project proposes a partial demolition to the existing structure for reconstruction and additions. The project also proposes new siding, roofing, windows, doors, trim, and dormers. The structure was built in 1826 and is over 100 years old according to town assessing records, and is located at 166 Bank Street, map 23, parcel N5-2. With the parties, oh, you're already here.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Doan.
And please, is there a sign-in sheet there? Did you make sure you both sign in? Okay,
Just an authorization.
gotcha.
I'm Attorney William Kroll from Harwich Port, Mr. Doan. Nice to be back in front of the board once in a while. And you may not share that feeling, but in any event, and I have seated here with me Antonia Butwell from, who's the architect for the project, from AB Design Collaborative. We also have Marshall Puffer. This is Antonia here, and then Marshall is waving to you there. He's from Ty and Bond. He's a professional engineer, and his report is in the presentation that the petition that you've received. Also seated in the front row, in the blue, is Tim Ewart. He's the owner of the property. And his partner, Michael Wending, is in the orange sweater. So they are Tim is the owner, but they're doing this together. What we're proposing, and I don't intend to speak long, I'm going to turn it over to Antonia, but what we're proposing for 166 Bank Street, which I believe locally is known as the Alfonso Weeks House. What we're proposing to do is less than a complete demolition. It's proposing to demolish the antique portion of the house and the sunroom and then renovate and replace that, and then renovate additional parts of the existing house, the garage and the detached garage and other aspects of the existing house. So they're not destroying or demolishing the entire structure that's on the premises. It's a partial demolition. And what we're looking for this evening is a determination of non-significance by the board, based upon that the bylaw allows the board to make that finding if you find that the proposal will not destroy or substantially diminish the historical significance of the structure. We acknowledge that it's more than 100 years old, certainly, and built in the early 1800s, and then it was renovated significantly in 1966, in the 60s, I believe. But if you would do me a favor, try to keep an open mind about this, about the proposal, because I think that when this project is finished, that you'll have a substantially similar streetscape from Bank Street. It's going to look substantially similar. These two gentlemen have done this before, and you will see when Antonio makes her presentation all the detail that they're proposing, the copper gutters, all of the not using the right wording, but molding on the outside around the roof, all of that. She will go through that with you, but they've done this before, and their intention is to build a house for another 100 years on this property that looks substantially similar to this property. It's going to be more volume because they're going to add a great room, things of that nature, which she'll go through with you. But I just wanted to put that out there, that they're trying to build a house for the next 100 years. This is not a renovate and flip type of situation, and it's not we want to demolish it and we're going to build whatever we want to build after a year and a half, after the demolition delay goes away, right? And it grew last town meeting from, as you know, from a year to a year and a half. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Antonia Butwell for her presentation.
Okay. Hello. I'm Antonia Butwell, and I'm the architect for 166 Bank Street. I've been working with Michael and Tim for the past few months to come up with the proposed designs that we're presenting to you today. I've put together these application packages for everybody, which have a lot of information in them that we'll go through, but those include 2D elevations and floor plans, 3D renderings, photos and history about the existing structure, structural report from Marshall, who's in the audience, a site plan, and some images of the proposed exterior details. I'll start off by giving a brief overview of the proposed scope of work, and then I'll get into some of the history and qualities of the existing structure and how this influenced our thought process in putting together the proposed design. So if you can open up the 11 by 17 drawings, the site plan, this big colorful one. This is I'm going to reference this as I go through the scope of work because it has kind of a clear diagram on it. So if you look at the bottom left corner, that says demolition detail plan. The proposed design calls for the demolition of the antique portion of the house as well as the sunroom addition. So if you look at that bottom left corner, you'll see that the red highlighted portion of the house is what we're proposing to demolish. So if you're looking at Bank Street, it's the left side only. The middle and the right side are going to remain. Also noted on that plan is a roof overhang and a basement stair bulkhead off the back of the building that are minor, but those are also going to be removed. So the antique portion of the house and the sunroom would be rebuilt in a very similar manner with a slightly larger footprint and a slightly higher roof. if you look at the diagram just to the right that says proposed improvements detail plan, you can see the enlarged footprint on that left side of the house. The rest of the structure, which is the middle and right side of the house, as well as the garage, are going to remain in place, and they'll be renovated with new windows, doors, siding, trim, roofing. There's going to be, we're proposing new dormers at the second floor of the existing, the remaining existing house, and then also the addition of a covered porch off the back. There's also proposing a pool and patio in the rear, which can all be seen on that site plan. So I just wanted to make it clear exactly what portions of the house we're proposing to keep and what we're proposing to rebuild. So while efforts have been made at the beginning to explore the possibility of renovating that left side of the house, the cost to repair the foundation, the floor framing, the electrical wiring, the HVAC system, staircase, and exterior shell, siding, roofing, windows, trim would exceed the cost of rebuilding it. Marshall Puffer's in the audience if you have any questions on his structural report, which is included in this package. But from an architectural standpoint, my initial walkthrough with the owners raised a few red flags, one of the biggest being the staircase. The tread depth, the riser height, the head height, and the width were all very far from conforming, and it's very tight in there, so that there's really not space to rebuild that stair properly and make it functional. So once you do get up the stairs, you're kind of dodging head height issues in all different directions. There's like a few funky dormers and things like that that really make the upstairs kind of unusable. So getting up there is a challenge, and then once you're up there, there's not much you can do as far as using those rooms as bedrooms or bathroom. The bathroom is kind of a walk-through. So I think that it's somewhat of a hazard for anyone to kind of get up there, and that side of the house is not being used by the owners at all right now due to those issues, as well as lack of heating and electrical wiring. So they're really just avoiding that portion of the house right now. The rest of the house is in better condition, so that's why we're proposing to keep the rest of it, and also just to keep as much of the existing look from Bank Street as possible. We wanted to keep as much that we could, and really only rebuild the portion that really needs the most work. So now if you go to the next few pages of the 11 by 17s, we have the exterior elevations, the existing proposed. So I'll reference those as I get into the proposed designs. That's these. To give a brief synopsis of the history, which Bill already kind of mentioned, the house was built in 1825 or 26 by Louis Burgess, and it stayed in the Burgess Weeks family for 137 years and then was sold to the Moore family, who did an extensive renovation and additions in 1966. So really that one kind of square footprint antique portion was the original, and then it seems that the rest was added on by the Moore family later on. The current owners, Michael and Tim, bought this house because they really appreciate the historic character of the house and of the neighborhood and the nice natural setting of the property, which faces the bog. They have experience renovating a historic house and with their other home in Dedham, and they really do have every intention to create something beautiful and high quality that doesn't disrupt the character of the neighborhood and is something that will be here, like Bill said, for another 100 years. So starting with the east elevation, which is what you'll see from Bank Street, you can see a vertical dashed line on these drawings, which distinguishes the left side of the house from the middle and right side of the house. So the left side of the house is what is the old portion, and that is what we are proposing to rebuild. As you can see, we're trying to keep the visual from Bank Street as similar to the existing as possible. While we did increase the footprint a bit and added 2.9 feet of height to the roof to get some usability out of that second floor, we kept the same type of gable and roof lines and chimney. We added a porch and another chimney and added on additional dormers, but the overall appearance is intended to look very similar and not shock anyone that regularly walks by or drives by that house. On the middle and right side of the house, which we're not proposing to take down, but to renovate, we're proposing a new dormer in the middle with a copper roof, new windows, which are larger, more substantial trim details everywhere, as well as new cedar shingle siding and roofing. Moving on to the next page, which is the south elevation. this is visible from the driveway, but also if you're driving from the south, you can see it a little bit from the street. So this is the driveway side of the house. And let's see, we enlarged the footprint of the existing antique part of the house, but again, did try to keep that overall roofline and dormer appearances similar in kind to what was there. The sunroom on the left would be rebuilt and would be larger with a new second floor, which will house the primary bedroom. We plan to have 3 fireplaces on this side of the house, all with functioning chimneys, and a new entry porch with a copper roof. So that is the driveway side. And then the last elevation is if you were driving from the north side. And you can see that doesn't change a ton because that's the side that we're not rebuilding, but we are proposing to add on a porch off the back. So you can see that porch in that elevation. So now if you go to the smaller package, the regular size paper package, and we go to attachment G, that one shows the kind of a comparison of the existing house photos to some 3D proposed renderings that I did. And if you just flip through those, I hope that you can kind of see and that these make it clear that our intention is really to keep the exterior appearance as similar in character as possible while still making the improvements needed to suit, you know, the needs and taste of the owners. But we really, especially from the street side, did try to kind of keep it very similar in appearance. So kind of going through those, you can see the before and afters of what we're proposing. And then lastly, attachment H is this one, which shows kind of the materials and details. So like Bill said, from copper gutters and downspouts to beautiful trim details, the owners have every intention to make this house high quality and a lasting piece of Harwich Port's historic fabric. So we do appreciate your time and input, and we're happy to answer any questions. And if you need anything from Marshall on his report or structural findings, he's also available to answer questions.
Okay. I do want to say, Bill, you do realize that we only have 4 people available, and that is the quorum. So it has to pass with all 4 votes.
Understood.
Okay, who would like to start the discussion?
I can jump in.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations, amazing property. And thank you for all the detail in the applications. It was fantastic.
They purchased that last summer, by the way.
Yeah.
Last July.
Beautiful. And the detail that you're looking to put into the building is fantastic. Even adding chimneys sounds great. On the proposed east elevation facing Bank Street, the roof pitch change, is that going from what, a 7 to a 9? Like, what's the difference there in pitch?
I don't have that off the
Okay.
top of my head, but
So
we
roughly,
are raising the roof 3 feet,
yeah,
so
so like maybe a 2 pitch difference.
if
let's say,
that, yeah.
And you're raising it by 3 feet.
Yeah, but the bottom, the soffit, is at the same level. So we're starting at the same level so that
Right.
it can tie into the existing soffit of the house. But the peak will be, the ridge will be higher. So yes, it's an increased pitch there by,
And the reason for the increase, I would assume, is to accommodate the staircase,
yes,
for the
and,
bedrooms upstairs,
Yep.
height, and just to make that all work.
right.
We tend to run into that a lot, you know, where when designing a home, the second floor and the old homes just don't work as
Right.
far as height and when it comes to staircase. So
Right.
that's understandable, but
Mhm.
that's all I have for right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, Lynn?
historically. I have been working most diligently for the last couple of years with our cemetery commissioner on all of our Revolutionary War soldiers, all 415 of them.
Oh, wow.
And this house, yes, was built by Louis Burgess, but his father was the owner of the land,
Okay.
Jonathan Burgess, who was a Revolutionary War soldier. And with other further research I've done, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the Burgesses were among the first to settle Bank Street, and it was in this area. And the whole Burgess family lived there. So to me, this is historically significant area in the house. And I understand that it is expensive to update an old house, but when you also consider the fact that it is old timber, that is wood that cannot be replaced, that has withstood every imaginable ecological instance and thing that has happened here for the last 250 years. And the wood is much better than what we have now. That house will be standing for a long time more. So I have real issues with this, and I think more historic research needs to be done on the family that lived there, because we know that unless, Jonathan, I don't have his birth and death dates in front of me, I don't have that document with me, he would have been in that house too, which adds to more of the significance. So the house is also on MACRIS, which is the state historic home list. So this is not a light decision at all to be made, and I'm very reticent about doing it.
Thank you. Paul?
Just a couple of questions, Mr. Chairman. I applaud you for the thoroughness of the report. Few people come with the quality of the work done here. I only wish the same quality of work had been placed in trying to preserve the building as it exists. I'm really puzzled by the attorney's suggestion that it
It's not taking down the house.
want to have some waiver that there's no destruction to the historic aspect of the house. When it's the historic aspect of the house, it's being destroyed. I'd like to go back first to say, when these gentlemen bought the house, had they walked through the house? Did you view the house? Did you have the sense, may I ask a question of the
Yes.
owners? Did you have a sense that when you saw the house, you fell in love with it, and that it had to be sort of a pristine structure and of some historic value, I would hope? Was the view that we're going to basically level it and put in a new structure? When you bought the property, you anticipated a thorough, complete, basically, redo of the property?
Before you answer that, you really have to come up to the table so you can be heard,
Yes.
if you're willing to do that.
Sure. Hi. So, my name's Michael.
I need to have you sign.
Sign in, okay.
Like, what's my line?
Oh, no problem at all.
Enter and sign in, please.
No problem. Need to open it. One second. So, we became aware of the property, I think by, in a providential way, or fluke. And sometimes good things happen like that. And I was given the notice on the cell phone by one of my friends. And I never would have seen it to begin with, because I wasn't looking for it at the time, or both of us weren't. So we looked at this house, and I was like, this is an amazing property. And we are naturally drawn toward historic homes, and quality and detail. And it wasn't on the water, which was our original look, or ask for the realtor, but everything we could afford was either 10 feet away from falling into the ocean with a storm. So we kind of, it didn't make it work, unfortunately. And I'm glad we did it.
You're not near the water, though.
Yeah, well, it wasn't on the 10 feet away from a cliff going down to the water. Yeah. So Lieutenant's Island I was looking at. Yeah, it was right on the edge there. So we saw this property, and I was like amazed, and I said to the realtor, who's a local person here, a very nice guy, I think it's Paul McCormick, who's impeccably presenting and articulate person. And I said, why didn't you show me this? Because I retained him for the search. And he said, well, you wanted water. And I said, well, I like this house a lot, and we both love it. And just went down the next morning, literally. And there were 7 offers within a half a day. It's amazing. So it was a very attractive property from a number of people's perspective, not only ourselves. So when we saw the historical thing, approach to it, was really drawn toward historical properties and the featuring of it, and I was like, this is great. It's definitely a fixer-upper in my opinion. That's why it was priced the way it was. And the setting also was spectacular. The sunset there over the bog, or I think it's called a bog, in the back, is breathtaking at a certain hour. It beams right in. And I was like, well, oh my goodness, it's just wonderful on a number of levels. So we're very sensitive to historical feel and also the environmental approach, because we have numerous areas in our property that we are attentive to. And we don't like grass, so we're very happy to give up a large chunk of the lawn there, which is like a golf course. No offense to golfers. So we did look at the inside. And Paul did a magnificent job as far as staging the house. You know, that's what they do.
Right.
And they brought in furniture for every nook and cranny of that property, that built inside the building. And it does what it does. You kind of look at the bouquet, and you look at the book, seashore, Cape Cod seashore is on the book, and
I hope he
and
had
so-
the book of Cape Cod houses.
no, it's more like
My
seashells, I
mother's
remember.
book.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
your
Your mother's book.
I'm going to present her in a minute.
Well, okay, so we were enamored by the whole feel of it, and it's a setting and historical. So, and I'm not a stranger personally to fixing things and restoring things, because that's what we did in our own house over a 22-year period. And it became a spectacular, well-complemented home. And so we saw that in mind in preserving, that was the whole idea of what was there. And after we moved in, it kind of settles in. That's what kind of happened.
Right.
And you start realizing, wait a minute, why is there a stain on that ceiling, right? And so I look at the stain, and there's a little box, for the attic area. You push it up, and there is a 5-gallon bucket being held by a nail to collect the drips when it rains. I'm like, oh my goodness. And the spine of the roof would kind of go out like this, which I didn't notice during the walkthrough, whatever that's called, the top of the roof.
Okay,
The thing
The
behind
ridge.
it. The ridge?
Ridge.
The ridge is like a broken back, not broken, but a severely handicapped spine of a building. And then I said, oh my goodness, we're having a hard time going up the stairs. That was one of the bigger things. So we started walking up the stairs, and I think they're about this wide, deep.
Cape Cod stairs.
Very difficult, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, I don't drink, but maybe I should, but we had a hard time. I don't use the stairs. I'm nervous about falling down, and the dogs, we have dogs that we treat like children, and they have a hard time. They would probably get hurt, especially as they get older. So I said, well, maybe we need to address that also. So I think what I then discovered was the floors, and they're uneven and what have you, and I didn't know where the water shut-off was. I said, where is and I called Harwich Heating and Cooling, I think it is, and they came down for a number of things to make sure I had the mechanicals all squared away before the season came in for the winter. And I said, where's the water had to shut off in an emergency? He said, oh, I'll show you where it is. I've been in this house before. We go outside. I'm like, outside? So we go around the corner, and there's this basement that you folks call Cape Cod basement. I wasn't familiar. And we went down, and it was nice and damp, and you could hear the dogs walking on top. There's no insulation. You could hear the fingernails, toenails. I'm like, oh my goodness, what did we get ourselves into? And I see these, instead of having rafters or floor joists, there's logs timbers with bark, and the bark is decomposing. It had like a charcoaly type of dry red. The wetness kind of accelerated the decomposition of the logs, and I was like, oh my goodness. And so, and to make me more nervous, which I didn't see through the walkthrough, is in that 10 by 10 circular Cape Cod basement, there are a total of 4 quote-unquote temporary jacks holding up the floor joists above. And I'm like, all right, so how do we fix this? I said, we're gonna replace the roof. That's okay. The overhang, the corner boards, the siding, all the windows, the electrical doesn't work. The floor underneath is unlevel. It's logs that are decomposing, and I put in try to salvage it. I put a dehumidifier in, an industrial grade one, and heating. We put heat in this summer, it's August, to try to keep the heat down there. But it's years have gone by. The damage has been done. That wasn't working down there, or in there. So I'm like, what is left after we do all this stuff and take it all off to rebuild it? And the answer is studs, and bad ones at that, and floor joists that are decomposing. There really is nothing left. I don't know how. I'm not my dad's a builder. I was born and raised in the building trade, and so I know more than a little, but not everything. But I was like, so I know all the things that need to be replaced on the building. And there's less than a skeleton left. So with all due respect, Lynn, I understand the historic part of it, but the part about old homes being what have you, definitely. Our house is not quite 200 years old, but to build to hang a picture on a wall, it takes some effort. They don't build things like they used to, as they say, right? Mm-hmm. And so you need like a chisel to get through the wire that's inside and the plaster and the boards and all that type of thing. So I definitely can appreciate that about how things were built and quality and what have you. But if we went inside the house, as I did, as I describe it here, you would say to yourself too, very clearly you would see that, what you're talking about, the quality of yesteryear, is no longer there. It's actually decomposed.
Had you considered keeping the exterior of the house and just redoing the inside?
Keep the exterior of the existing antique.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep the original footprint of the house.
Yeah. The problem is, as Antonia nicely said, is we still have the unusability of the height of the upstairs. And then also the staircase is very this way, but more so there's not enough room to get it legal. Is that the right word? I don't know.
Up to code.
In conformity with current code. Up to code. So it's basically an unusable portion of the house. Did I see all these things before buying it, before we bought it? No, we didn't. We kind of grew into it. And I thought we would make it work, but I'm hoping that with the effort that we put into it to give this presentation of what the visual will look like, I usually, I think the experience that we'll have from experientially the neighbors or neighborhood, if you were to walk by a couple years from now, 3 years from now, you'll say, that was a good decision to let them do that because it really looks great. It's in conformity of what we had, what was there. And we're open to having any other additions or changes or edits that you'd like to propose that would help us get us to a more historic feel. I'm definitely open to that.
Yeah. Well, I'm delighted to hear that. I went through the same kind of approach in terms of looking at an old house and basically maintaining the house, but carving it out, coring it out, going back to the outer walls, removing a crawl space by jacking up the house or whatever, putting in a new sill, and so forth. I don't need to tell you about my history.
Yes.
Other than to say that what you're ending up with, to me, has no relationship to the historic nature or the appearance of this house.
Okay.
With all due respect. And I applaud your sensitivity to historic preservation, and I want this commission to work with you and hopefully come up with something that is more in tune with what is currently present, but yet accommodates today's lifestyle. And I don't see that in this exterior presentation. If I could bring my mother back here into this room and ask her, can she find for me in this design,
New design.
redesign,
Yeah.
where the Cape Cod three-quarter house is, she'd be troubled to find it. She wouldn't find it. You can't find it.
Right.
Because it's been disturbed by this appearance here of 6 dormers and 6 columns and anything but Cape Cod. Anything but Cape Cod.
Okay.
So, I would hope that if in fact the tie and bond assessment, which I can't argue with, other than it bothers me a little bit. I get the impression that there was the sense from when you bought this house that it was going to have to be basically totally redone. And that's the same feeling I had when I bought the house I live in. But if you go and look at Freeman Smith's house in a 1903 or an 1870 photograph with it B1, the house would look to Freeman Smith as it does to me today. If Mrs. McCracken, a former friend of mine, former owner of this property, came back and looked at this house, she'd wonder if she was in Harwich Port or Dedham. Right? So, what I'm hoping, all we can do is plead. We don't have any meaningful power in this commission. We have the power to talk, I guess, and the power to encourage and the power to provide guidance where we can. But in terms of saying, this really, from a historic preservation standpoint, is unacceptable in my view. And I assume that in some of my colleagues as well on the commission. I think it's a wonderful house. I don't want to tell you, but I actually looked at buying this house before the Moores bought the house.
Oh, okay.
So it's been a house that stands out in the town.
Yeah.
And I want to see it preserved, and I think you're the people that can do it.
Mhm.
I know you have the feel and the ability to do the job well. I think tie and bond, in conjunction with your architect, has the ability to take the elements that are here, whether they be the floorboards or whether they be the ship windows or whether they be the sandwich glass or whatever, and they put those aside, rebuild. Wood is replaceable. You can rebuild a window and to appear like the windows appear currently, and have a switch that turns on the electricity properly and what I want to say, heating and cooling and so forth, HVAC systems. So all of that, through the intelligence and capabilities of the staff of professionals here. What I'm hoping is we come to an understanding that we employ some kind of a delay just to keep things from, I noticed, I think somebody told me the other day, there was already a sign up in the yard saying that, you know, we're on the move here, we're gonna be moving, so something's gonna be happening here. I'm of the opinion that we should act to slow this down enough so that we can continue to communicate here and see if we can craft something that 100 years from now, people will be looking at this house and saying, you know, when Mrs. McCracken lived in that house in 1960, and here it is 2160.
Right.
It looks like it looked when she was there. And that's not the case here. So
Okay.
if you're willing to do that, we're willing to help and try to provide some guidance, I'm sure.
And you don't have to answer that question of whether you're willing to or
Okay.
not. If I may,
Yes.
we're done with that exchange. That's, and this is with all due respect to every member of the board and your opinions, and we're dealing with opinions in a lot of this, is that purse strings do enter into it. The cost of all of this does enter into it. And they've looked at that, and functionality enters into it. They're living there, and it needs to function for the purposes for which they bought it. And it's not their obligation to create some kind of a museum-type aspect to the house. It's not their obligation. They own it. Do they want to wait a year and a half? They'd rather not, but they will if they need to. So I don't know if there's any kind of middle ground. I mean, Mr. Doan's suggesting we'll go back to the drawing board pretty much entirely and come out with something that looks, as Ms. Zalzak suggested, that still would preserve the facade of the front of the building. You know, I don't know, that could be looked at. So I've prepared my clients that we might want to, if the board wanted us to continue for a month, come back, talk about it, see what we could come up with that might be more appealing to you folks. But I don't see us just going back to the drawing board and saying, okay, scuttle all of this, and let's just work
I mean,
with.
I don't think we'd want you to do that.
Okay, so that's why I'm putting it out there, to air it out,
I
to
think
find
it's
out
very-
what you do want.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
that's-
hearing anything definite yet.
That's what I was gonna suggest to the board, like, we'd have to give them some guidance just to go back and come back with the few thoughts that were handed tonight
Right.
and be in the same boat, you're gonna be in another month.
Mhm.
When I look at this project, I do have concerns about, you know, the pitch, and it's not gonna look exactly the same. You know, there's elements of this that you could do, if you wanted to add the addition off the, west side, I'm sure that wouldn't be an issue. If you wanted to extend off the east side of the existing roof pitch and everything, so that wouldn't be an issue.
Mhm.
The dormers in the middle section facing Bank Street, all these elements, if you were to piece them out in separate permits, they would not be an issue or coming in front of us. So what advice can we give them tonight, or guidance to come back with something we want? If saving the Cape house itself is important, I think we're gonna run into that same problem with the head height upstairs staircase. We've heard this before, so we just have to decide how important the Cape house is, and if that can be saved. And you know, I'd like to give them some guidance before they leave here.
And if I may, one other
And we
thought
love
I
the fact
had.
that they might be willing to
Yeah, yeah.
to change the design.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought on that one point. It'll come back.
Can I throw something else out? Was one of the things that
It
attracted
came
you?
back, but you want me to finish my
ahead.
thought?
Yeah, go
Yeah, go ahead, finish
Okay,
your thought.
so, we're not debating or arguing that this is not historical,
Mhm.
house with historical significance.
Right,
And we're not debating whether there was Jonathan Burgess from the Revolutionary War was part of this, or who owned it, or whatever. We're acknowledging that it has historical significance. The question is whether we can come up with a design that would satisfy your needs and their needs both
We
in
can.
a shorter period of time than a year and a half.
Right.
I'm sure we can.
What I was going to ask is,
Thank you.
was one of the things that had also attracted you to the house, just the whole look of Bank Street and that area? The historic buildings, just the ambience of the area?
Yes.
The design you have, as Paul was saying, this does not reflect this. This does. Keeping this does reflect this. If there were some way to duplicate this without all the dormers, the porch, this, to keep that Cape Cod look, personally, I would be much happier because that would reflect more the historic significance of that and the whole area. It would fit in much better with the whole area.
Okay. Well, I think we would be okay with cutting back a few dormers, and then also the porch in the front would be, as an add-on thought. I think that's a optional thing. It was more of a practical part of it because of freezing and
Everybody
slipping.
likes porches, yes.
Yeah, the safety part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the main reason for it. So I think that is something that could be addressed.
So it
Right.
sounds like it's really the driveway facing side that we're most worried about.
Well,
The south side.
It's the,
Yeah.
it's the
It's a
most
self-
egregious, I
That's-
believe.
Right.
But
That's okay, yeah, I just wanna
why don't
hone
we
in
do
on
this?
the,
Why don't we reserve any further comment tonight? You know how we are leaning. I would ask you to reappear at next month or whatever time you feel you need. I won't try to impose some sort of a delay other than time you need to kind of put some revised
Continuation.
thoughts together and come back, and we're available as well anytime between now and the next time you return to
Well,
see if things.
I think we appreciate that posture, that position, but just so we're clear, because
Yeah.
at first it was like redo it all, or
No,
like you were
no,
saying.
I
Yeah.
never would
So can
suggest
I step
that.
in real quick? I
Yeah.
think,
I just need to think,
Yeah.
any of the items that you'd like me to chop out.
right,
chop
exactly.
out.
So
think
if we're
so.
gonna give some guidance, if the
Right.
porch is something that the board, consensus of,
Right,
maybe the porch is something we don't want.
okay, great.
And then on the main house, because obviously it's going up, right? They want to do it, the roof pitch is going
Mhm.
to change, it is what it is. So if you want to keep with just the two dormers, maybe the middle dormer goes, if that's something the board would like to do.
Okay,
And then on the back three dormers, this is only facing the south side, whether those three dormers stay or it's a full shed. We should pick like 3 or 4 things to give them to come back with. I just hate to see you go back, spin your wheels.
that would be appreciated,
in the same
and the
way.
time and expense.
Yeah, I do want to, my overall goal is, like Paul talked about, when you're coming up from Harwich Port, you want to see that house, like you can clearly see that this looks just like it was, they just put an addition on. Yeah, it'll be higher and stuff like that, but the fact that you went from a 4 window from the 3, I mean, that's a big difference. You know, if you, any way you could make it really look like that piece is right there, like you didn't take it down.
Right.
Like, it just looks like it there and you just add it on and, go crazy on your additions, that's fine.
Okay.
But that's what's important to me. I mean, besides the history, like Lynn, this.
I'm sorry, I'm a history nut.
The family.
I think that's great.
We know that.
As you say, Bill, the Alfonso Weeks house, which of course he built the Albert House. So he moved up to Howard Center about 1885, 95 or so, and built that house. But
Right
anyways,
next door.
Well, when
Yeah.
you
But
read
anyways-
that history, he married and then was lost at sea.
That's the father.
The father, okay.
Okay,
he's
this is
lost-
the son.
Yes.
And you'll.
Father died a year later after he got married, lost at sea.
That's right, that's right. No, it was the son.
The
And
son.
And you just go on I did a quick scan on the Independence. Alfonso was quite the town person.
And the
Town
Burgesses.
meetings, he played the cornet in the exchange band,
Oh, my goodness.
as well as, he was
Is he an
very
ancestor of
talented.
Steve Weeks?
Exactly.
I think so, yeah.
Directly Steve Weeks, yes.
Um,
So, I mean.
Anyway, so we acknowledge that there's some history to the property.
Right.
And we kind of thought you might not like the 6 dormers. So,
So
Yeah,
can I
put it
re-
out
yeah,
there.
I can recap my list of
yes,
possible changes.
thank you.
Mhm.
So obviously, do your best to save the cape as far as the look.
Yeah.
So when you come up Bank Street, it looks, you know, you
Mhm.
could see the cape and you obviously
Correct.
have added on to it. The porch, maybe just omit that altogether.
Mhm.
Dormers, especially on the main building, I would take the middle one out
Okay.
potentially. And then the addition to the west side,
Right.
maybe softening that roof line look as well.
The
And-
dormers.
Would a
Yeah, the
shed,
dormers.
would a shed,
Whatever the architect thinks would be best.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't know how that's falling. I can't see that side, how it's gonna fall, and if
Yeah.
it extends over, if it'll look
We
funny.
could maybe do like a shed that attaches.
And then we'll concede the height, obviously, to accommodate the staircase and
Yeah.
proper head height on the second floor. And then back to the entry, the captain's entry, if we're gonna get rid of the porch, it looks like it's changing dramatically too. You get side lights on the proposed.
Right.
We could maybe.
That's an
go-
overhead light
Yeah.
on the
We
original
could keep it
house.
similar.
So yeah, the
Yeah.
modest pediment or,
More
you know, the
similar.
overhang.
Yep.
I think those would be like 5 items. The 6th item was the conceding the height, so it's
You
really
got-
just
You got
5.
that, Antonio?
Yep, I
Okay.
got it all.
So the question I had while I'm here is we have that garage,
Right.
and I have a contractor who's a local person, and I said to him, I really would like to renovate that, not extensively, but new roof, new siding, new window, and give you folks a taste of what we are, doing. And you actually see, as it's progressing. And so he's willing to do that, and the concern I have is, rather than giving him the green light with a little bit of reservation, is the windows. I want to make sure that you're good with the window.
Yeah, the windows you do in the
look.
Marvin 6/6.
Yeah.
All casements,
Yeah.
whatever the lights.
Well, we have the
4 to
cottage.
8.
It's a cottage style window on the first floor. So
It's
the-
cottage style.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
those are 6/9 on the bottom.
So
Oh, I'm sorry, 6/9.
But
Okay.
upstairs it'll be 6/6.
we want to
I'm
have the
sorry.
garage matching the house, in other words. I don't
Right.
want to mismatch.
So it's a combination of 6/6, 6/9
Which is,
casements
yeah.
that have 4, 6, and 8 light.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
So
do
the
that.
garage,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you can see in the renderings, we would propose doing these
Basically the
cottage
same.
windows on the
Yeah, I don't
garage.
think we'd have a problem with the windows unless the cottage style is a
Wood
problem.
shingles are excellent.
do you have a definite date that you'd like us to come back? Mr. Doan,
What was that, April 18th,
15.
15th?
Replace this door.
Would be the first date, but you could come in the month after
no,
that.
no.
Or something.
It is,
but Mr. Doan
With-
Mr. Doan
shiny-
suggested
shiny
that
black- shiny black.
we could be in touch in the meantime. I don't know how that happens.
You can't really,
Hmm?
because of
That'd be hard to do. I think we would just see you next
I
meeting.
mean, you
Or
got
we could do a special
Open meeting law,
open meeting.
Yeah, yeah,
law.
that wouldn't
I
work.
don't-
I'm saying that if they have a question about something relative to recreating this look, preserving the three-quarter cape look as the main feature of the house, which is the current situation, I'm available. I'm more than willing to
We
help.
we just can't
Suggest.
communicate. We can't deliberate at all.
right, and we don't know who's calling the shots at that point. I mean,
That's
it's
right.
gotta be the
That's right.
board.
Yeah.
It really
the board.
does, so you have to be careful with that.
Yeah.
That's why,
Okay.
that's why
And
I
you
was
need us-
asking.
You need us 4.
You need all of you collaborating
Again,
at a meeting,
yeah.
open meeting, all that, yes.
And I know that a new structure can look identical on the exterior to an antique one. There is, Bill, you've probably been by it, There is a half cape that was built on Lover's Lane, on the old lawn property. That
Yes.
looks, it's brand new, but it looks identical to an old cape.
Does.
Every-
Nickerson's in Bank Street,
Yeah.
how,
That guy should
Main
get
Street,
an
I
award
mean,
for
it's
that.
a million.
That-
It's a new build though.
Yeah, I did not.
rocket.
Brendan built it.
I did not know
Thank
that.
you very much.
He did, he should
You
get
did
the
a
award.
Beautiful job on that.
Thanks, I thought you knew that.
No.
So the.
He did a
I think
marvelous
we-
job with it.
If you're willing to, the continuance, could I have
Yes.
a motion to continue this public meeting?
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
Second.
Thank you for your
second,
time.
Section.
All right, well,
Paul.
thank you all for your input.
Thank you.
Paul, and
Yeah.
seconded by, okay,
All eyes.
yeah. And everybody in favor of continuance?
Aye.
Aye.
Paul,
Say aye.
I'll say aye,
Paul, say aye.
please.
Hi.
Tony, thank you.
I had no idea you did that.
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Oh, did he show up? Yeah, I don't know, he just gave me a. So I get,
They'll do it. I think that was a good,
so back, just want to back up a second, that I understand the first case is now here. I don't know if we have to unvote the continuance, but I have no problem
yeah,
hearing
why don't
it.
we just do that?
Okay,
So give it to me again, we're doing motion to remove the.
remove the continuance.
Motion to remove the continuance for HH 2026-08 for the
Second.
property at 97 Route 28.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And so come on up. So this is HH 2026-008 JNS Cape Homes LLC through their agent Patrick James.
Pardon my appearance. I caught a puck in the face on Sunday mornings. It's been a long couple of days. My apologies for being late.
Okay.
My children were not being super cooperative on the way out the door.
Sorry to hear that.
They
Okay.
do that.
So I understand you sent in some pictures. Do you want to go over what you've been working on since our last meeting?
Yeah, so I think the last time we came in, we grouped the porch, the fire escape, and the barn together. We've removed the barn from this because we're still waiting to hear back on if we are able to change the plans that had gone before Mass Historic. And I think we were hoping to get an answer tonight, whether we could change them or not. Was the first thing Lisa had said, but I don't know, do we have an answer to that?
No answer.
What was the question about? I'm a little,
So the barn was,
yeah,
yep, so
you wanted to remove it off this application.
we did, yeah, that was the point, because what
Okay.
happened was the last time we were here,
Right.
it was grouped together. The question that we had, because the new design, which was done previous to our
That's right.
purchasing it,
And approved.
does not meet anything that it resembles at this point, and we were happy to change it. The question is, are we available to change it the way that it's been gone through? And I think that you were gonna check with council to see if that was something we were able to do.
Fortunately, I don't, I wasn't the chair, and so I don't know about that.
Okay.
So the issue is that
We can follow up again with
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Because we're gonna have to come back anyways.
Yeah.
But I think the issue
That-
was if the plans went through the avenue in which it took to get to where we are now, is it possible to even change it to what we're looking to match what's there?
I think she was bringing up more that had to go through planning or appeals board,
It already went through all that. It
even
was-
with this design, without the change.
Yes, and that's what happened, was the design, that design went through and was there
Oh, and
at
I kinda
the
read-
beginning, when they created the habitat development
Right.
in the back.
Yeah.
This was grouped into it because it was one property at one time.
Right.
So that barn being demoed and rebuilt was designed I think 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're just bringing in the plan that we were given that, you know, that everybody kind of went along with. And when you guys saw it, I couldn't agree more. It looks nothing like what's there.
Right.
And we're happy to redesign it. The question was, are we able to redesign it, or are we set in stone with what was
I'm kind of
permitted?
getting, Lisa,
back-
could you put a note in to ask Mary about that,
Oh.
because she was the one that brought up the concern. And so.
Sorry, I didn't know you were Lisa.
I'm Lisa.
Okay, well, we're emailing back and forth. I'm not sure who's who. So, yeah, so I think we're waiting for, is it town council to?
Yeah, Mary's supposed to find out from time, but I haven't heard back.
Okay, somebody said to check in tonight when we were here. I don't know if that was, Nathan told me that.
That's probably me.
Okay, yeah. All right, so we'll kick the can down the road on that. The next order of business would be is we basically are looking to get approval to, you know, rebuild the deck, or the porch, sorry, as well as the fire escape that is on site. I will add in that with the fire escape, we're kind of scratching our heads why it's there to begin with, because from what we understand, it's not necessarily required. I don't know if there's an issue there that we're not aware of. So what we did was we put a plan together matching what the front porch would look like with the, you know, the same architectural, you know, appeal, hoping that we could remove it and not have it at all if the
Right.
building department or the fire,
Right.
the powers that be say you don't need this.
Right.
You just put a window in that we can, you know, somebody can crawl out, and then we don't have to worry about a fire escape.
That'd be fine with us, certainly.
Right, so but what
But
I
that's
figured
really
was
up
is.
to the power
100
to-
Exactly, but I figured it would be much easier to put a plan together, so
Okay.
you all can look at it and say, we like it, we don't like it, and then we'll go from there. We're either gonna remove it from the scope altogether, or we're gonna rebuild it, you know, to what we, are showing you for plans for tonight.
Okay.
Right. So, anyways, could you, the porch, I think, is the main topic then
Yep.
for tonight.
Yep.
So could you explain, I see you sent some
So the porch
information.
is it's dilapidated. I mean,
Yeah.
there's very little structural support there. So the gentleman we hired to do the work, I think what happened was he pulled a permit, and I think it got by that there was no historical, so it triggered it at some point. So obviously they've already started posting some things up. They did some demo, and I think at that point it came to light that it had to go back through historic, because we've been here multiple times, and even I'm thoroughly confused sometimes on the historic
District.
not even that, no, because it's gone beyond that. It was the way that the barn was held in, I'm trying to think of the word, restrictions and not restrictions, and we've been to ZBA, we've been everywhere. So I think part of that was a misconception on the putting the building department, the builder, so they kind of got going on it, unfortunately, and now it's just held up by temporary posts, and we're looking to just continue on with the work. There's a lot of the architectural posts and you know, woodworking that we're looking to save, and anything that is not able to be salvaged, we would have to, you know, make on site and reproduce. As for the posts themselves, they're really, I think there was one or two that's salvageable. The rest of them are pretty much rotted out. So we're proposing kind of what we sent in the photos of to rebuild in kind, using those as a filler. I believe those would be AZAC, which means we'd have to paint, which anything would be painted white to match the rest of the property. But basically, we're looking at your approval for the rebuilding of that front porch with the posts, the woodworking, and the decking.
So I see you highlighted the 8-foot post
Yep.
would be the one, which does look pretty similar.
Yeah.
It's close enough.
Yep.
I think.
And then the I don't even know what you call them, but there's the pieces that come off the top
Yes.
of the post. Those are something that we'll just make on site.
Well, I was just gonna say
Yeah,
that,
there's not too much to it.
yeah, because they're not graved or anything, it's
exactly.
just a
Yep.
scroll saw.
Yep.
And I was gonna suggest that the Albert House had that same issue right next door.
Yeah, I actually noticed that the other day.
And
'cause I'm-
John Eldridge,
Yep.
who used to work for the town.
Yeah.
Did those up
Yep.
nicely,
Yep.
so you can always contact him.
Yeah.
Because he might be able to.
I
do
did
something
notice that
like
the other day that this house next door looks very similar with the,
Right.
you know, the
Right.
look. So, so from where the guys on site basically said, you know, we need to get new posts. We're not making those. The rest of the stuff, they're confident that we can make on site or in their woodworking shop.
And same with the balustrade, you'd use that?
Balustrade was the closest that we got to
Yep,
what.
that-
yeah.
that's fine.
Yep.
So, Any comments?
Just a question about the post.
Yep.
Is it gonna be a PVC wrap? Because these wouldn't be structural.
So, I'm no builder.
Okay, so yeah. So
I
if they're-
I
if
think
they're-
those come in one piece. I don't think they're a wrap, are they?
Yeah, but whether or not they're structural or not, because you have a load of the port. I mean, it's something to check with the building department, but you'd have to.
Those aren't structural.
Well, it says load 1,000 pounds.
Okay.
Is that,
We'll put a scale and make sure
Yeah.
that they're not anymore.
So we put 3,000. Okay.
yeah.
That was my understanding, was
Interesting.
that's a
No, it's
solid
interesting.
post that,
If it's it's a solid post.
That-
It's not a wrap.
No,
That was
no,
my
no,
question.
no,
Okay.
no,
I
that's
think
a
the
solid.
wrap would be, you'd
Okay.
end up going around a 4x4,
Yeah.
6x6, it would be,
I mean,
you know,
it
Yeah.
actually, it says wood porch
Porch
posts.
posts, yeah, it does.
So I think it's totally,
it's either gonna be, for some reason I remember something coming across as AZEK, and I just told the supplier, I'm like, whatever you can do, we need to just match the aesthetic look, I'm not
Yeah.
concerned with the material, no matter what goes in there is gonna be painted, and you can't tell the difference once it's painted anyways. But we did also, I just wanna make sure too, that you guys we have a architectural set of plans showing existing and proposed. I just wanna make
Yeah,
sure.
we have those.
Okay,
And then I have a question on what we're voting on, just
Yes.
for clarity. The project proposes we're gonna omit the demolition of the barn, correct?
we're not, that's not even
Yeah,
on
yeah, I
the,
just
yeah,
wanna
it
make
was
sure.
just a question
Just the way it's
regarding.
written.
Yes.
And then we're gonna be rebuilding the front porch of the main dwelling.
Yep.
And the second means of egress is not included in this application, but should we include it?
It was
if
supposed
it's
to
not
be.
in the application, then we don't have to,
We've done before where we can add it, there, it is in the
Is it?
plan.
okay. Oh, it's in the plan?
Yeah, I mean, if that's the
Okay.
second means of egress for the second floor, then that's something the building department will have to tackle, but I.
That, right, and
I'd assume
and
it
my
is.
goal tonight was to leave here with an okay on both of
With
those.
okay if you have to.
And then
keep
if we go to the building department, you know,
Sure.
next week and say, listen, this is where we're at. My only concern is somebody put it there at some point.
Yeah.
It
There's a
used
reason
to-
why it's
It was a
there.
Hetch house. I don't know if there's an issue with, because
Yeah.
it has the old staircase.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's an issue where somebody came in and said, listen, you've got,
Could
you
be,
know,
yeah.
the staircase doesn't meet code, so you need a legal means of egress on the outside.
Okay.
That may be, I don't know, I'm just speculating.
Is the existing one very old?
No,
It was added in
it's
like
just-
in the 60s or something?
I would say maybe even later than that.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
because it's just, it's, you know, it's like a PT.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and you walk across the roof, like,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you've driven by, it's the most odd looking thing you've ever seen. There's a door that goes out to the roof. You walk down the roof, get on the stairs, and, you know, I mean, if
Okay.
it's on fire, it doesn't, you don't care what it looks like, but.
And last question, if you
Yeah.
were to rebuild the second means of egress stairs, what material would it be built out of?
So
Just PT?
the decking, the decking
Are
or
you
the,
looking to rebuild the structure or just skin it and replace?
the whole thing is, there's
So
nothing
what-
to rebuild.
Yeah, so what material would you be using?
In-
Just all PT?
When material, do you mean the decking material or the railing material?
Everything, structure?
So the structure would be PT.
PT,
The decking would most likely be PT unless you would approve like a Trex.
mm-hmm.
Is there, I don't know where that falls
And what about
into
the railing
historical.
system?
The railings would be what we proposed with the drawing, and it's on there.
This is
Yep,
right here.
and it shows the, if you look at the architectural plans, it does specify what the railing as well as the posts.
Well, that one does say PVC.
That's.
I think the railings are PVC.
Okay. I mean, I've got it, I'm just trying to get, you know, so when I read the,
Yeah,
you know.
you're gonna do the motion.
findings, when I do the motion, so that you have it correct.
Right.
Okay. All right, anyone else? I think I'm good.
For, just so I'm curious, for decking, what would be the most appealing to your senses for that time period and to match
Well,
the
I mean,
historical
it would
look?
not have been there to begin with, but it's, you know, right now it's existing probably pressure treated material, so you could do the whole thing in PT and just let it fade to gray.
Including the railings and everything?
If you tell me what you'd like to do.
I want to do what would look like, I mean, so what I wanted to do is match what's on the porch. So if we're gonna redo the porch decking, I would want that to match so
Yeah.
that they look
Okay.
like they were
That
both
would be-
built.
Yeah, all right, so I'll probably just say it as, sorry to be difficult.
Yeah, no,
So to match existing front porch.
Right.
Okay. That's all. That's all.
so if we're gonna do the decking on the front porch as well, that would assume, we're gonna assume just to use PT on that, or is there something specifically that you'd be looking for?
You tell us what you would use. I mean, so if you're gonna redo the decking, yeah, what would you like to use?
And PT is obviously the easiest and the cheapest. I don't know if there's something specifically.
Just pressure treated on the front porch?
And then those would be the treads going up into on the egress.
Okay.
Can that be painted white?
I'm just really confused because we're talking about, sorry. Maybe it's me tonight. Let's just talk about the front
The
porch.
front porch.
Front porch, you're gonna be remodeling that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Are you gonna be doing the decking there?
Yes.
And what's that material?
We were proposed PT.
Pressure treated?
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, understood. I'm good.
Okay. Anybody else have comments? Or-
No.
Okay.
I'll throw it out there. You talking 1x6 PT or you know what you would choose?
You tell me what you want. I'm easy
I'm not
going.
gonna tell you.
I'm easy going.
You know what I could tell you?
Standard 4-inch.
Yeah, you would do standard 4-inch fir and, you know,
It's like
painted,
five,
but
isn't it?
it's, you know, or mahogany, but, you know, they're using pressure treated, so it would really be a preference. It'd
Yeah.
probably be 1x6, but that would be their choice.
Okay.
But I was gonna
That's
call
fine.
it out as pressure treated. You
Yeah.
could choose your size.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna be on a first name basis by
I
the end
know.
of this.
Sorry about that.
And I'm gonna,
Trying to get it
we'll
straight.
probably be back here again next month when we sort out what we're doing with the barn.
Okay. So are we ready, a motion to close the public hearing?
So
So-
moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, could we have a motion?
Yes, motion, case number HH 2026-08, filing date January 15, 2026, hearing February 18th. I'm sorry, hearing date March 18, 2026. Property 97 Route 28, map 10, parcel W57. Owner on record, JNS Cape Houses LLC. Agent is Patrick Jacobs. Recording information, book 34964, page 273. Year built, 1900. Proposed demolition is partial, even though listed as full, so make correction there, partial demolition. The proposed demolition is rebuilding the front porch of the main dwelling and replacing the second means of egress on the east side, west side,
North.
Yeah, west side.
west side. Historical significance is listed on the town's historic property inventory. The proposed demolition would not destroy or substantially diminish the historic value. Determination, no demolition delay, period. Materials to be used. You want to write these out? Or I'll write
Yeah,
them out
can
and
you
then
write
give
them
to
out
you?
and give them to,
So
Lisa.
conditions, I'm saying this might be loose, but combination of pressure treated material Intex railing systems. And structural decorative PVC posts.
the posts are actually wood. Are you talking about the balustrade?
I'm sorry.
Or the,
Well, because you said PVC, so okay.
Yeah.
So new PVC porch trim, so the trim kits are PVC.
Yeah, but-
Structural decorative posts, I'll get rid of the PVC altogether.
Yeah.
That sound good?
And it should be as presented, as submitted.
Yeah, as submitted.
The one issue that I noticed is that you have these little things hanging down.
We saved, I think we have all of them.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you
I'm
put
almost
those back
positive
up.
we do, because I know when they started, we started saving. Anything that was decent, we started pulling them
Yeah,
off.
because those,
putting to the
those,
side. Yep.
those look like they're
Yeah.
very good shape, so.
So I'm gonna
No.
add as submitted per plans dated March 17, 2026. Okay?
Okay?
Yeah.
Do I have a
Thanks for
second?
letting me work that out.
Yeah, no
Sorry.
problem.
Second on that?
Second.
Lynn seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So it is approved.
Excellent, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Do you
you.
want me to sign in to this?
Yeah, you
Yes,
should.
please.
I don't want to, we want to cross all the i's here. All All right, we'll probably see you next month.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Our third public hearing, HH 2026-10, Joseph Hennessy, owner, through his agent, Robert Ward, Bayside Build Remodel Incorporated, has filed a notice of intent. The project proposes a partial demolition of the existing rear utility room and loft, bath, sunroom, and kitchen to construct a new addition for a bath and kitchen dining room. A second new addition is proposed for a new master bedroom. The project also proposes new siding, roofing, windows, doors, trim, dormers, and exterior shower rinse station. Painted clapboard siding and natural cedar shingle siding will be used on the exterior reflecting the original appearance. The structure is built in 1820, therefore is over 100 years old according to town assessing records, and located at 34 Oak Street, map 50, parcel R6. Who would like to, on the committee, have questions to start with? Paul, do you want to?
No, I have no questions. I didn't know if, are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm Robert.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
Sorry,
should have asked you to
it's
explain.
okay. I'm Robert.
Kind of new at this,
Ward,
so.
Of Bayside Build and Remodel Incorporated. I'm representative agent for the Hennessy's over at Oak Street.
Mhm.
So, nice house. It's 206 years old. It's
Yeah.
rather unique, antique colonial. Doesn't have, it doesn't have a lot of crazy detail like you think it would for 206 on the outside, like some of the, the pediments and the scrolls underneath the rakes it was really just like these sunbursts and
Yep.
hammered bursts above the windows, and it has this glazed window though on the house, where it has 2/2, and they're they're rather nice windows actually. So they're gonna at some point they're gonna preserve those front windows. We're not touching the main structure that was
Right.
built in 206.
Right.
However, there is part of the structure that I think is 206. That's like the kitchen,
Back part.
and then the little room above the kitchen that they call office. And then there's like a little closet that has a stair that goes down, a chimney. I think the chimney got wrecked at some point. The interior chimney's still there on the, where the kitchen must have a wood stove or something.
Yeah.
Because the original windows in the sunroom are still there, and the original Cape Cod Cellar foundation is right underneath the sunroom. Must have been like a deck or patio at some point. So we're not messing with the front house at all. There is one proposed change to that main dwelling that it's going to probably be part of phase 2. So if we look at the front of the house, there was a sunburst above the front door that got a little damage. It's in the garage, but there's a company called Architectural Depot that replicates them.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we can save the original one. It's wood.
But it's gonna be put back. in
It's
the
got, well,
original.
yeah, or we're gonna put a
Perfect.
PVC, polyurethane, poly PVC one above the door. So, because it was a half elliptical sunburst, not a pyramid. The rest of them are pyramidal bursts above the front gable, and then there's a south side double window. So, there's a couple different designs. I uploaded another one today that shows some grill patterns that I just got, but there was a minor change. So on the main house, there's, on the February 14th architectural design plan, it was to put a secondary dormer on the south-facing side that would match the single dormer on the home. So there's a window, second floor of the main dwelling. It's just a little tiny window. It's like 20 by 40, and it's a 6/6 grill pattern. On the 2014, on the February 14th drawing, we're gonna replicate the dormer on the right, and there'll be 2 dormers there, so it would balance the symmetry of the house. But that's not gonna be done with phase 1. The phase 1, what we're gonna do is we're proposing to take out that little window that's a double hung and put a casement window, which would have the 2/2 grill design that matches that side of the house. So it allows emergency egress onto the roof if needed. So that's the only part of the main structure that would be touched. That is 206 other than the kitchen. The sunroom, from the sunroom back where the loft is, so it seems as though that there was like, from the original built of the house, back in 206 years ago, there was the sun porch that got added at one point with this, and then there was some storm windows and storm doors. It looks like it's just because there's like a deck, a covered deck, and then it's enclosed, and then inside, when you walk in the door, it has the original window. So I think that was done in '75, because that's the only history you have on the built house of any work that's been done. And then they got a little creative where the back door originally, if we look at the demo plan, on the back door leading from the kitchen, there's like a concrete stoop that goes down into the utility room, and that was the original back door. So then I think at one point they added a little room, a half bath, and that has a flat roof above it, and then there's the loft. And underneath the half bath that was added, I think, 70s, it has CMU blocks, so they didn't have CMU blocks, you know, over 100 years ago. And the same thing for the loft, that lofted utility room, we don't have any information on it, but we think it was moved there, because it sits on CMU blocks, but the structure is old. But it's not part of the original house, I don't think. I think it was moved there. So, or it could have been a barn on the property and just slid over on CMU blocks, and it has like a little, so, but the reason why for demolition of the utility room with loft, it's clapboard fastened to studs. There's no sheath, and there's no vertical bond board, horizontal bond board. They just nailed clapboard to. There's nothing structural that's worth saving, and it's very deteriorating underneath. There's a lot of rot. The same thing for the bathroom that's next to the kitchen. It sits on CMU blocks that doesn't have foundation under it. There's no footing. It's just blocks on sand. There's nothing 4 feet below. So there's a lot of unevenness going on. The kitchen floor is uneven. The underneath the kitchen there is the original fir timbers that are notched and doweled, but they're like 30 inches or greater apart, and they're not really structurally sound. So the house is sinking in that area. We're gonna save them, and we're gonna sister up 2x10s in between, and then we're gonna, so they're gonna still have the appearance in the Cape Cod well that they'll exist. So the ceiling above the kitchen, we think it's 2x6, so it's not, it steps down when there's a room above it. I think it's older for 2x6s. The room above the kitchen is gonna be reconstructed. So there's 2 phases to the project that we're planning on doing. This phase 1 would be demo the sunroom walls, the sunroom roof, the bathroom, all the way back and get rid of all that. And then the area above the kitchen ceiling and that little room there. The back wall of the kitchen is gonna stay. The floor, original floor fir, they're round fir, they're actually trees, so we're notched and doweled, and we gotta, code by code, we gotta upgrade in between them. So, that's all gonna get reconstructed, because so that's what we're proposing. So during that reconstruction period, if we go to the drawings that I had for February 14th, which is this one.
This is 222.
Yeah, just show us where you're at before you continue, if you could, please. So you're on which plan?
There was one that I submitted February 14th. which was the secondary plan that was submitted.
I got February 12th and February 22nd.
Yeah, February 12th is actually the date of the plan. It was submitted the 14th, okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the
That would be the
February
one,
12th. Okay,
that, but on the plans they submitted today, there was just a change on grill over grill pattern for a window.
okay.
So, on page A3, which is the south-facing side of the house, then the darker gray shade in the bottom, that's the original structure of the house, that primarily that's gonna remain the same. Future phase two, we're gonna do the dormer on the left to mirror the dormer on the right. But that's not gonna be in phase one,
So, are you asking for both phases at this meeting?
yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so it's gonna, yeah. So, the phase one, I'll go back to that window where the dormer is, but so phase one, on the south facing side, we're proposing to have 3 double hung windows with grill, 2/2 grill pattern. The door will be also grill pattern 2/2. Where you see the windows above, on the second level, where it has the dormer, the wall's gonna be raised, the roof's gonna be raised to accept taller window, taller head height, and mirror the 12 pitch that's on the existing house when you're looking from the west side or east. So we're gonna mirror the pitch, but there will be the dormer will have more of a flatter roof, but the main ridge will have a 12 pitch. And there'll be a cheek on either side of the dormer. So bringing the walls taller also be bringing the walls, the west side of the building a little bit wider on the second level. The existing on those windows that are on the second level above the kitchen, on the original is a 6/6 pattern.
you saw on the south side, right?
On the south side. On the south side is original 6/6 pattern.
Yeah.
So that's the change on the submitted drawings that I uploaded today. We're gonna do 6/6 pattern
So
for those
6/6.
Yes, and the same thing on the north face side is the 6/6 as well on those particular windows. So that's gonna remain the same. The window just to the right of that on the main dwelling, it shows 6/6, where we're gonna do future phase two, and we're gonna mirror the dormers. On today's drawing, I have, because it gets a little bit confusing, because we're trying to restore on the original part of the house, the original, for the grill pattern facing south as best as possible. So it restores the character of the house. So on this is just a temporary window, but it's still gonna be on, let's see if somewhere, I think what page, I don't know if you can pull it up on the computer, if it comes up. So I have on it would be the same page A3, but it would be a casement window, grill pattern 2/2, so I have emergency egress onto a roof because we're losing a window on the inside when we make that room wider and taller above the kitchen.
So, can I have a big timeout? I don't know where you guys all sit with this.
I'm pretty confused.
We're really confused.
All right.
And I think it'd be great if you could sit in this chair.
All right,
And if you have different plans than us, just go south side, east side, north side, boom, boom, boom.
yeah, so on the south side, yeah.
But hold it up and just,
Okay.
let's just work off what you're doing.
Yeah, I
Hold it
wasn't
up.
sure, because when I
Yeah, no, I get
uploaded
it.
it, usually it comes up on
Yeah.
the big screen. So they're gonna mirror this dormer here on phase two if the addition the master gets approved. So for now, on this window here, it has a smaller window, 6/6, but it's not allowed for emergency egress because the sashes are too small.
Gotcha.
But a casement will allow emergency egress because now it opens differently, so, and then now you'll have a 2/2 pattern, which everything on this side of the house is 2/2. It matches in sync, except for over here where it's original on the dormer, 6/6. We did originally plan on the February 12th to have 2/2 here. But when we look at the original pictures, it's 6/6. It's kind of odd.
That's an addition portion.
I think
Okay.
it is. It is at some point, yeah, right here.
As a
So,
kid, I don't
I
remember
think if
this
you're
at all.
doing a full divided light,
yeah,
or, you know, you're doing the spacer bar in between, you're doing a full divided light,
Yeah.
I think you just need to tell us if you're gonna do a mix of 6/6.
this is what it will be
light.
here, yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna look like this.
Okay,
So,
all right, so that side we get. What shows
okay.
the other sides?
all right, now, on the front, it's just the detail, restoring the detail with the sunburst and the detail around the verticals.
And those windows stay 2/2.
These are all, yes, and they're actually they're gonna eventually have a custom glazing
Perfect.
company take care and restore those
Oh, that's great.
windows. Yeah,
Excellent, that's great news.
yeah, they're really nice windows.
That's
They're beautiful windows.
Love to hear that.
So, there's quite a few of them. So, all right, so now when you get the west and the north side, so this would be facing west,
Just hold up so we can see it.
on west side, the slider is gonna have grill pattern 2/2 on each
That's fine.
panel, okay? There's no other windows here. It's just the side, and it's gonna, there'll be clapboard on the cheeks and clapboard on this part where the slider is, and then on the existing here is cedar shingle,
Okay.
facing west, which is not visible from the road, it's visible from the abutter.
And
So,
the north side?
and then the north side is, the kitchen window is gonna,
Sorry, you gotta hold
Yeah.
it up. Yeah.
the kitchen
But I
window,
want everyone to be able to see it.
the kitchen window is on the north side. It's right now an older 6/6 window. And then this is an older 6/6 window, which is really, you can see how much it's leaning, it's terrible. So now, 6/6 in the dormer will stay. We have 2/2, and those are gonna be twin casements that open out where this kitchen sink is. And then this is the bathroom window where there's an awning, and then it'll just have one fine light in between the glass vertical. This is the garage. And these are existing. So we're not touching those.
And on the north side, you're showing clapboard, but it's now shingle. And you keep
Well,
it shingle?
there's existing shingles there now,
Okay.
so, which is this right here.
Is that work you've already done, that shingle?
I don't know what's going on with, I think it was either done before it was sold.
Okay.
I'm not really sure.
Interesting, yeah.
I did not do any work on this house, this property yet. So what's proposed is to, it's kind of broken up, because there's shingles here too, but this was gonna be clapboard,
Okay.
because this is all gonna get stripped and from here over is demo. Actually, the only area that's gonna remain on demo is this back wall and then the flooring system in the kitchen, so we can preserve the lumber. The rest of this is all gonna get reframed because it's taller. If you can see on this picture, is what I was trying to get at. On the west side, there's two windows facing west that are very close to the dormer. They're kind of like tucked in the corner, right there. That's the southwest side, and then the northwest side, this one's even worse, it's really tucked in the corner. So right here. So that's gonna be removed, and the other one's gonna be removed. This is considered an office, so you don't need an egress, there's nobody sleeping in there, other than the door. But on that was the reason for this other window to turn to egress purposes, was this one here, because we're gonna lose the window. We need emergency egress out, it has to be 5.7 square feet or 3.3 in order for a body to get out on an emergency. So that's phase one.
So what's the date on that plan?
This one here,
Is this the newest one?
this was the newest one that was uploaded in the portal today, which was in the...
Because we need to refer that to in the
I
thing.
need to refer that in the, yeah.
Because
Yeah, it's in the
these maps are-
.gov portal for historic. And the same thing with the certified plot plan, Doc. The snowstorm kind of screwed the guy up with this. We just got this, the 2 snowstorms we had. So, slowed us down. That's a smaller,
So can you give me the date of that plan?
this is the 15th of March. And that's
Thank you.
the one that was submitted.
Nope,
Okay.
that's all I need, just stay with that
This
one.
one
So-
doesn't show phase 2 on it. This is for phase
All
1
right, so
construction
we're gonna
drawings.
add both. So
Yeah.
that plan there and the other plan we're gonna use is gonna be February
February 12th,
Okay.
which is, right, which brings me back over to here. Right. So, now, it's still representing the character of the home. It's, it would be a single level. It should be, I think you guys have this plan.
It's 1423, it's 222.
212, you have a 222 plan?
222
Okay,
here.
all right, so that would be it.
Update.
Yeah, I think, no, it's a 212 plan.
Okay, I've got the 212.
Okay, that would be the one that shows phase 2, that would be the proper phase 2. All right, so on page A1, the floor plan just shows that,
Can't see.
no, I'm not sure, you should have one of the packets, because
Yeah,
there's,
I just want to see what you're pointing at.
so, walking through the kitchen into the, this would be washer, dryer, bathroom, shower. This was phase 1. But then when we do phase 2, this is gonna be walk-in egress. So when I frame it, I'm gonna frame the framed case opening in the wall already. So when they do this, it will receive it. So then the washer and dryer will end up being moved over. There'll be washer dryer closet in this mudroom area. So, and then you could walk out another door out to the outside shower, and then that would be there. There'll be an egress there as well. An exit egress here, and egress here and here, and on the front. So there's actually 4 egresses on the first floor at that point when phase 2 is built. And then it will allow entry into a nice-sized master bedroom, nice-sized master bathroom, and a walk-in closet. So presenting that floor plan, it's only first level, and the walls are gonna be the same height, the gable will mirror the same 12 pitch. So all stay in harmony with the Cape Cod antique colonial architectural style. The windows,
So phase 2 is just one level.
one level, yep. So, it will have, on the south side, it will have 3 additional double-hung windows, 2 over 2, to match. So the only difference is, and then, the only difference is this one window with the original thing here.
And is that just a design choice that you like that, or are you just trying to match the original that was there?
It's a customer choice all of a sudden, that's why we
Sure.
have updated drawings from Monday,
that's
so, I don't know, it's
Great.
been changed like 4 times.
Mhm.
They already have pre-bought ones that thought they were gonna restore the loft and use them in the loft. And then when they bought it, the house was looking like this, and they discovered that the loft isn't structurally sound to become habitable space, because it's clapboard nailed to studs. There's no sheath, and there's no
Right.
and there's no foundation that's adequate. So they saved the windows. I think they had some water, and they were gonna have a contractor pull a permit, and that never happened. So, all right, so that is a choice. That's a client choice, and it matches what's there, so I don't know if that's derogatory for historic, since the ones that are there are 6 over 6 already.
Right.
All right. So now that's on the February 12th plan for phase 2. Facing south, the only windows are the 3 double hung windows again, 2/2. And then right next to that, where the wash and dryer is, that's part of phase 1. We see phase 1 line, phase 2 line. There's gonna be another awning window with a fine light, and that will be a functional window. These are Marvin windows, by the way, that they chose, really nice, Marvin Integrity Elevate style, they're really high quality. Clad exterior over wood, and then it's wood inside, pine inside. Fine light grills in between the glass. I was trying to sell them Anderson, I didn't go for the Anderson because I think they're a better product, but they
Yep,
chose
please.
Marvin.
Can I ask a quick question? I know we're kind of out of sync here, but I'm gonna ask a
Yep.
quick question. So it'd be safe to say
Yeah,
that the front windows are
Yeah.
gonna be restored,
correct.
saved and restored.
When, yeah,
Oh, oh, oh.
yep.
And then all other windows,
Mhm.
whether they're 2/2, 6/6, or casement, are gonna be new Marvin Integrity windows. We'll just leave it as Marvin windows.
Yep.
And they're all gonna be true divided light with spacer.
Correct.
Done. All right, so I don't
Yep.
think we need to refer
Correct.
to any more
Yep.
windows.
Okay. Yeah, and they're gonna be like for like appearance from the outside.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. That's
I-
White.
I do have one question. Your plans show the chimney staying,
The,
but then I saw one place says chimney demolished.
oh,
So I'm
well,
confused.
on the, yeah, because it's not there, it doesn't come out. It's just internal. So this chimney in the main house stays. It's
Okay.
just, there's one inside that must have been one there at some
Okay, I'm not
point.
worried about
It's
that.
internal, it
No,
doesn't,
yeah,
it's
I'm
not,
not worried
it's,
about that.
there's nothing
No,
there
no,
anymore.
I'm just-
Yeah, yeah. This
Yeah,
one
the main
stays.
chimney stays,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
great,
Yep.
that's fine,
Mhm.
that's fine.
Yep. So, that's the south side. The east side, there's no changes other than making sure the trim is correct. So for phase 2, north side is one window. It's a gable end where the bath and the walk-in closet is. The bath will have a double hung 2/2. There's gonna be a rinse outdoor shower station with a door. I think it's just gonna be a solid door going out. Both pitches, I believe, are gonna be 12, back gable. And then when you're looking at west end, same pitch, 12 gable. If you look on the drawing, the same pitch matches. All these pitches are gonna replicate the original structure from 206 years ago.
Great.
Because the roof lines are all over the place right now. They're really,
I've actually been in that house,
it's
so I know
it's
exactly.
kind
what
of
you're
cool
dealing with.
house.
It
It
it's
just
very,
needs a lot of help.
those two back additions are very
Yeah,
curious.
that's why
So put it that way.
I think that was moved that.
I don't think I have any more questions, Bob.
Okay, anybody else have questions?
The only thing I show here is, on the west side, we were proposing, on here it shows clap, but then on part of it's shingle, part of it's clap. On the west side, facing the abutter, we were just asking for cedar shingles.
That's fine.
Okay, and anything that's visible from the facade, that
Is
is
it on,
where,
is it on the plans? Noted?
this actually, on the rendering, it shows.
Yeah, I can
This
see it
is,
says
this is,
clapboard, yeah.
this is gonna be clap, this is shingles right now,
Yeah, yeah.
so I don't think we should touch that. I don't know what's right here, but this is gonna be, this is right here.
Yeah.
But this is gonna change the clap, the kitchen wall is gonna change the clap, and then when the phase 2 is done, that gable will change the clap and leave this shingles.
sounds great.
It'll be, then the clap's painted yellow to match, so, but the cedar shingling, we were asking if they can age gray. Or do they? Okay, all right, okay. Instead of painting them yellow, because once you,
Yep.
no.
Leave
All
it
right.
alone.
Okay, and then all the trim is gonna be the traditional trim to match. That's really it. I mean, so phase 1 is the sunroom becoming a finished enclosed kitchen, new bath, and then the room above. The room above is, it's gonna be, they're gonna wait to finish it, but everything will be what we discussed on outdoor appearance. And then phase 2 is just the added mud room going through where the washer dryer is on phase 1, and then master bath, master bedroom, closet, rinse station. And I think that sums it up, and like for like as best as possible everywhere that we can. Okay.
Okay, Paul, did you have
Yeah, I just had one small item that I just wanted to raise, and that is on this north elevation facing Park Street, you've got the brick foundation on the old part of the house.
Yeah.
And you've got new board foundations on the new section going in there and so forth. Can you slap in a veneer brick on that just to keep the brick theme of the front part of the house continuing throughout the whole west side? I don't really care about the
This would be the
west elevation, that's in the background, but the north elevation, it just shows the concrete, right there, yeah. See how you've got on the front part, the
yeah,
old
on the
brick.
original house, it's
Right.
yeah. It's interesting how they built these houses back
So
in the day,
maybe
'cause
just add, I mean, I don't need to have
that's brick and sand. So I have a sea captain's home on Route 28, and this house is built just like that one. And it's too bad that they didn't have granite. This is like brick
Yeah,
that sits in
well-
sand. So, and then on this wall right now, it's CMU block, so that can be veneered with brick.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Okay.
veneer the brick on the new, and on the new section there, the poured, I assume that's gonna be poured concrete, where you're adding that back section on the west side or what?
On the, actually, on the west side, it's gonna be
The west, I don't care about.
big foot footings, and it's gonna be PT with cement board and parge over it, and we can veneer that with brick.
Yeah, well,
On the
Just
west side?
consistency.
Yeah,
No.
right.
On the west side.
So just for,
okay.
for
At
clarity,
least on the west, on the.
On the north
west-
side.
north
North
Yeah,
side.
okay.
And the
So-
west side would be great.
only brick veneer on the north side?
Correct.
Nothing on the
No,
south?
He's willing to do it around the whole
All right, so
structure,
north, west,
Um,
and
I don't,
We don't want.
south.
well, to make
No, we
it,
don't.
to make it inconsistency, it would probably make best. And
yeah.
then,
Okay.
when
Okay.
phase two happens, it's just gonna be an open and cut to go through. And then that's gonna have a full concrete foundation all the way around it.
Slap the bricks
Yeah.
on that.
So when we do on phase 2, that would be a solid concrete foundation
Yeah.
poured, and then veneer that.
Veneer
You
that.
want to just, okay,
Consistency all the way around.
okay, I agree,
Okay.
I agree, yeah, no, that makes sense, I totally
Helps
agree.
with
I have no problem
aesthetically,
doing that, yeah.
That
I
sounds
like
great.
doing the brick, so, actually, when I
I
did,
do
when I did one up in, I did some repair work, and I found all kinds of bricks around my yard, and it was from 4 different manufacturers, and Barnstable Brick Company was the
Yeah.
oldest. I have a bunch of them lying around, but there's all kinds of ones from Connecticut we found that were interesting, yeah. So, all right, yeah, so I did, yeah, that would look fine.
Any questions from the public on this project? Okay. Any
move
other
to close.
final? Okay, you move to close. Lynn, second. All those in favor of closing the hearing?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Okay. Can you work
Yep.
on the
Yeah,
motion?
findings. Case number HH2026-20, 34 Oak Street, filing date February 12th, 2026, hearing date March 18, 2026. Map 50, parcel R6. Owner on record is Joseph Hennessy. Agent is Robert Ward. Bayside Building and Remodeling, Inc. Book 37076, page 323, year built 1820. Demolition proposed, this is partial. Description of work, the project proposes a partial demolition of the existing rear utility room and loft, bath, sunroom, and kitchen to construct a new addition for a bath and kitchen dining room. A second new addition is proposed for a new master bedroom. The project also proposes new siding, roof, windows, doors, trim, and dormers. and an exterior shower rinse station. Paint clapboard siding and natural cedar shingle siding will be used on the exterior, reflecting the original appearance. Historical significance, it is listed on the town's historic property inventory. The proposed demolition would not destroy or substantially diminish the historic value. Determination, no demolition day period imposed. Conditions, per plans dated March 15, 2026 and February 12, 2026. Front windows to be restored. All other windows are to be Marvin true divided with spacer. The three styles of windows are 2/2, 6/6, and casements. In addition, our last item will be add brick veneer on north, west, and south side of all new foundation.
Does that sound right?
That sums it up, yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what it would be.
Got a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate your time.
No,
Yeah.
thank you, I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks for
So,
hanging in there.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's 4 vote to 0, so you're all set.
All right, thank you so
No
much,
problem.
all right.
Thank
Okay, now we just got a special permit.
Okay.
So what does it go in a couple, like next week would be,
Yeah,
sir,
I think it goes in
At
within,
least I can answer that question.
Crank out the approval.
certs go in to be available by?
Yeah.
The what?
The certs, the approved cert?
Oh, for historic, I'll put them in tomorrow.
Oh, excellent, thank you. I really appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to help.
All right.
okay.
Just for historic though.
Okay, next on the agenda is approved meeting minutes from February 18th.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
And those opposed? Okay. 0. New business, discussion of citizens petitions, Patrick Otten. Come on up. I do want to mention that we did get notice today, which I think you'd previously noticed, Patrick, that we cannot discuss it or recommend it at this point, but we certainly are welcome to hear your things. I do want to just point out, because you submitted quite a few here, that I'd like to know why some of these may be related to historic district or historic commission. A couple of them I think probably are, but a couple I'm not sure. So please proceed.
Sure. So, thank you for the opportunity to just present to you citizens' petitions. I think the one of significance that this committee should be aware of is the designation of scenic roads. There's an existing state law that enables towns to designate scenic roads. And what does that do? In the right-of-ways, it protects all standing trees. It also protects stone walls. So if you look at my, do I have a summary here? So Chatham has, back in 1974, 39 scenic roads designated. Orleans has 36, Brewster has 19, Harwich has none. And the question is why? Why doesn't Harwich have scenic roads to encourage the aesthetic beauty, the rural characteristics of why we live here? So this citizen's petition is simply asking the town to start designating scenic roads. It's that simple. I just want to bring it to your attention since you're the historic board. So it's that simple, that easy. I gave a list of possible roads that could be designated, and
Can you tell us a bit what's involved here in terms of
yeah, the
process?
law actually says there are 3 committees in town that can designate scenic roads. You're one of them. Concom is the other, and planning is the other. So as a committee, you can say, we would like to have this road designated as historic.
And the controls over that are what? What is the capability of the designation to accomplish?
It protects in the right-of-way, trees. So if I wanted to cut a tree in the right-of-way, I'd have to come before the planning board, have a public hearing, and have it approved, yes or no. If I wanted to remove a stone wall, same situation.
And if,
Paul,
if-
Paul, we've been advised that we really can't get in a back and forth question type thing.
Well,
We
he's
can just
trying to
hear it.
understand, he's trying
Yeah.
to understand.
How are we gonna know what he's seeking if we, and give some sort of a potential endorsement,
read
if we
that.
can't get a sense of what's involved? I'm curious if the Historic District Commission can assign a street of
Well, there's a
people.
description here in the paperwork.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
disregard my question.
I mean, the easiest thing is to go to the state law, and you can
Yeah.
read that, and that tells you how it proceeds.
In the paperwork.
Okay.
So I just want to bring it to your attention.
Yeah, and the other one, certainly tell us about is the other one, is it the tree one? That
Yep.
also?
So that was presented last year as well. So again, this is preserving the rural historic character of Harwich. Specifically, the tree preservation bylaw limits or controls, what's the right word? Encourages to not clear-cut lots when development is happening. You can still do it, but then you have to take measures to replace the trees that you cut. So there's remediation. Either you can replace an equivalent smaller trees of equal diameter, half the tree diameter of the one taken down with new plantings, or you can pay into a tree fund for the replacement of that tree. So again, rather than having a driveway after driveway after driveway after driveway, let's retain the trees along the setbacks of each of these properties as development occurs so that we still retain the rural historic character of the town instead of turning it into an urban backyard that is not what I want for Harwich. I like to keep the trees. And trees are beneficial in many, many different ways. So, aesthetically, environmentally, nature, so.
Okay. Just the comment on that is that we don't have any jurisdiction over trees outside of the historic district,
Yeah.
just for informational purposes, so. But other than that,
Not interested.
Then tell me within a historic district, what's your control?
from the rules, I believe trees would come under it. Anything viewable from the street.
Any,
Comes in.
within any lot, anywhere?
Yeah, as long as it's viewable from a public right-of-way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so, good. Well, thank you, Patrick.
So,
Sorry.
That was
had to
easy,
wait
right?
for so long, but.
no, it's important to bring it to your attention so you know what's happening and the value of trees in our environment. So, good. All right.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. And
Yes,
if you're
thanks.
curious, read that
Don't worry,
state law.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, all right.
But,
Good.
have the select board appointed a tree warden yet?
No.
Authorized, right, to
There you go.
That's another struggle.
That's,
That is, okay.
And, so far the tree warden discussions in Harwich have all been about removing trees. Go to Brookline, I can send you the link. Their tree warden has generated a GIS map of every single tree in the town. It's on their map. They know the type, they know the age, they know its condition, they know any work that needs to be done. They have in their plans, the tree warden, to plant 400 trees this coming year. So a tree warden is a critical position in planning the future, because these trees will be here, you're used
We
to.
used to have a tree warden
Oh,
who
yeah.
did in fact bring trees and offer trees for sale.
Yeah.
And gift from the town that were planted along properties.
Yeah, and that's our historic character.
okay.
Many of the trees now, ones that were presented and planted by the tree wardens in
Yeah.
the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, All right.
Hey, thank you.
Good.
Thanks, Patrick.
No, thank you for
Very good,
listening.
thanks.
You know, we're all on the same page when it
That's
comes to
right.
historic character.
Always listen. It's actually my third time hearing that, so thank you. I happened to be at the other two meetings. you
Yeah,
presented.
all right.
So, thank you though.
Good, all right, thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks, Patrick.
Okay, number 2, new business. The HDHC terms expiring is June 30th is Lynn and myself. I think I got my letter. I don't know if you got your letter
I got
from the
my
town.
letter.
Okay. So 3 CPC applications. I'm not sure what it refers to, but you're our CPC coordinator or representative, but I'm not
I
sure.
think it's just Paul's request, right? That's all we have.
Yeah.
Paul,
Oh,
you
yeah,
wanna
it's
talk
the
about
policy, yeah.
Historic preservation.
Yeah, has that come up by?
What is
from-
the question?
I'm sorry, the CPC application. No, we didn't have a
Oh,
CP
no, no.
application.
Oh, we don't.
No.
I'm sorry,
No,
not
no.
CPC. We have an
President.
article. I'm sorry.
Yeah, an
My
article,
bad,
that's
my bad,
different.
My bad.
Actually, that's the next one, town
That's
meeting.
what I meant. Yep.
Town meeting.
Mhm.
So, has that been run by the select board yet?
Yes, as far as I know, it's on the warrant. I gave the language to the town administrator, and he informed me that it was in the warrant, and we're asking for $5,000. And hoping that in subsequent years, it, like other articles that appropriate small amounts, relatively small amounts of money to the cultural council or the Chase Library or whatever, becomes a customary article and included in a general article that's used to fund
Yep.
those amounts. So that's the plan, so that although we're asking for this year a specific article to fund basically the Historic Preservation Award Program, hopefully in the future it just will be kind
Sure.
of an automatic thing. But I'm hoping that if we are successful in getting the $5,000 appropriation, that amount of money will actually cover quite
Yeah.
a few years of
Right.
Preservation Award costs.
Okay.
So
Good news.
it wouldn't have to be an annual request of the town.
Good.
That's awesome.
I did have a little bit more on that if you have a
I have,
spot on the agenda or whether
well,
you-
we have the old business, we do have the Revolutionary War house plaques and the historic preservation.
Okay.
Your application, whether you have any updates on that.
Well, I do have some additional information on that.
Okay, first let's do Revolutionary War house plaques. Is there anything, we talked about it, and I don't know if we came to any conclusions
You
that,
have not come to
okay,
any conclusion.
okay, we'll continue it to another meeting. And then, Paul, under old business, number 2, the Historic Preservation Award topic, applications and things that have been
Yeah,
sent out.
yeah, with Lisa's wonderful assistance, we've had placed on the Town Historic Commission website the process for going about getting a copy of the nominations, as well as a couple of pages of explanation about how the process will work. I just asked Lisa the other day, I went to the selectmen the other night and further tried to give some education or advertisement or whatever to the process. So, and Bill Galvin very conveniently included
Right.
that in an article in the
We saw that.
Chronicle. And he had previously done an article, so we've had a little publicity, and I've heard of several properties that people are proposing, or hopefully will propose. As of this date, I don't think we've received any nominations formally yet. Originally, our plan was that we would go the first 3 months of the year to accept nominations and then try to make the selection by the time of town meeting, possibly. Since I'm leaving here for a few weeks, I asked Lisa if she could just extend the period, at least online, to
Sure.
the middle part of April.
Yeah.
So sometime after that, maybe at our April 15th meeting or whatever, we could see what's come in and try to make a decision at some point on or about the 1st of May or something.
Perfect.
So, on that front, the plan is, and maybe I failed to bring one thing in that I meant to bring in, but the plan, as we've discussed it, was to provide a appropriate plaque designating the winning dwelling or property or properties, that they are the winner of this year's Preservation Award or awards. And in addition to the plaque, the plan that we've talked about, Brendan and I have talked about as sort of the subcommittee here, is to further have a notification that would be placed in some appropriate town location, either, let's say, town hall or the community center or something of that nature. A poster is prepared by staff, putting together kind of the history and showing some photographs and so forth of the award winners, a winner or winners, and that would be on display for a year until the next year's winners are selected, and then those past winners hopefully would also have some resting place, maybe even in the historic.
Some walls here, Paul.
Well, there's
I just noticed.
but I want some. I'm looking for locations that many people.
Yeah,
frequent.
no,
No, I know, I was only joking.
Well, I know in the
Community centers, really.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
best spot.
community centers.
They've got the wall of fame,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so there's no reason we can't have.
The other side wall
House
doesn't have
wall.
much on
There
it,
you
yeah,
go.
so.
Sounds
So
good.
that's one thing, is this poster. So in terms of the cost and concern about, all we need to do is copying Chatham's lead on this. I've contacted the people they use in Yarmouth, who are design people, and they'll take the narrative that we submit, photographs and so forth, and prepare on a suitable poster board, which then can be framed
Yep.
for hanging. And it runs about $90 per copy. So, then, as far as and I think it's appropriate that we just continue to use those people. They do a wonderful job. I meant to bring in a picture of one, but in Chatham they have the posters that have been of the winning awards on the wall at the annex. And I want to just see if I can, yeah, here we go. So this is like one of the, happens to be a landscape, some are portrait, some are landscape, but that's an example of what I'm
That's very
talking
nice.
about.
Yep.
Now, the second part of it would be the plaque itself on the house. And here we need some sort of guidance. Again, using Chatham as the guide, I've contacted the entity that they use, which is a foundry in Michigan, Whitehall Products, and they now make, the Historical Society for many years have plaques, of which I have one on my house, of identifying the age of the property. It's a wonderful, very elaborate bronze plaque, rectangular in shape, similar to this sort of,
that's
we've
nice.
all seen it, right? So that's what I was hoping to recreate for our Preservation Award. In Chatham, they have oval. They have an oval award for the Preservation Award plaque. And they also use oval for the designation of the date of the home. In this case, the home was also a Preservation Award winner. My hope was to have a plaque similar to this type of rectangular plaque for Harwich, but it's encountered some sort of business complications. The foundry that prepares the Preservation Award, this is the oval one for the, for us to ask that there be one done of this nature, let's say 6 by 10, which is what this is, 6 inches by 10 inches rectangular, would require this company to prepare its own separate, special
Die. Yep.
And the placement of the letters and so forth. These letters here, this particular one, the Oval Award plaque in Chatham, is a 14-inch by 10-inch oval. So it's actually bigger than this, but on the property itself, it doesn't really appear overly large. It's tastefully done. So the 10 by 14, and what we could do is just mirror this, and for Harwich have the same thing, preservation. These letters are raised gold paint. They're 1.5 inches on the presentation and award, and on the 2024 or the year 2025 or whatever, those are 3 inches. The trouble with this is that you can't get them to prepare that kind of size lettering and numbering on a rectangular structure. So, what's that?
So
I like
anyways,
the
yeah.
oval.
Okay, well, that was my question.
So
If you want the oval, all we have to do is just lump ourselves onto the Chatham program, because what they'll do is they'll be putting in for the winners of 2026, and we can say make 3 more or make 2 more.
Okay.
It'll cost us about $80
Oh,
to
that's a lot
use
better.
their. Now, the other thing is, this was bronze.
Yeah.
This is aluminum, but it's painted with a black base and a raised gold lettering. Now, he sent me this. This was as close as he had, but the problem, this was I think a 6 by 10. Maybe 6 by. Yeah, I think 6 by 10. Yeah. But the problem with this is it doesn't accommodate 2 things with this. It
Right.
doesn't accommodate the lettering.
Right.
And secondly, it's only done in the silver, not the
Right.
gold,
Okay.
raised gold. So, of the choices that he gave me that are sort of available for roughly $100, it would either be this in, as
Yep.
Chatham does, just copy which identically, or they do have a square on black with raised lettering, and the raised lettering is gold. That particular size is 11 inches by 11 inches. It's kind of more typical for, as you enter this building, you see a plaque, who was the committee membership
Yeah.
that made the town hall, the
Yeah.
expansion.
Right.
So I kind of thought that a square 11 by 11, even though this is 10 by 14, and not really, it's really bigger area-wise
No.
than the 11 by 11. I just think that it's less attractive. But the 11 by 11 would accommodate preservation, the year, and award underneath
Yeah.
it. So our choice is, in terms of trying to do this somewhat tastefully as well as on the cheap,
I think that's
I
great.
like that.
Yeah, we're
to
fine.
just either mirror this
Yep,
Yep.
I agree.
or, okay. So I think
What do you think?
we're all in agreement
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
that's.
Great job. I mean,
So
yeah.
we'll get that organized, so that will not incur any real significant delays or complications with the production of the plaques and the poster.
Excellent.
Good job.
Well, thanks.
okay. So let's.
Now all we need is
Get
a
close.
nomination, so
Yeah.
folks.
I got a couple. I got a couple.
Keep our, don't, I wouldn't hesitate to,
Yeah.
when you see something like Bob Nickerson's, I asked Bob to submit a nomination. I mean, his house should be in.
He's working on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's working on it.
I've also heard that the fire station down here, which would be great, maybe the
fire station
John
would be great.
Carey property, the redo of the little school, the West Howard
West Howard
School.
School, yeah.
And I've talked to you about the one here on Chatham
On
Road.
Chatham.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
That little
Yeah,
cute one?
Yeah.
So, let's, don't be afraid to talk up, folks,
What do we got?
because
Okay, so
nominations.
I want to move on to correspondence and briefings.
Yeah,
Number one, I'm going to let,
Yeah, the first one is correspondence from Matt Suffin for future Harwich housing. This was sent to Historic. It is directed, well, it is for me. So I'll make sure that this gets to the trust and maybe posted on our next agenda.
Okay.
number two is correspondence Cape Cod Commission, and basically it is the notification to us that the commission did make a regional impact decision. So that's for the, we just put in for the records,
For which
Lisa,
year?
for Witchmere, yeah, did I say that? Witchmere Beach Harbor Club Hotel redevelopment. And the third one is from the Harwich Historical Commission, National Register of Historic Places for the Harwich Port Library, 49 Bank Street. And they announced that they were pleased to inform us that the library will be considered for Massachusetts Historical Commission for nomination to the National Register of Historic Places. That's very good news.
Very good.
They've done a lot of work in Harwich Port to do that. And, I know I went to their kind of opening or celebration and told them new stories of Harwich Port Library when I was growing up. But kind of exciting news for Harwich nonetheless. So at this point, that finishes the agenda. Move for adjournment. Well, first of all, is there anything to go on the next agenda that we haven't already got moving forward here?
the only thing that I'd kind of like to keep elevated in our attention is consideration of expansion of the historic district.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Both in terms of the Bank Street and the West Howard
Okay.
site. So
So
That's-
Lisa,
put
can we
that
put that on
and
the
kind
agenda?
of see if we
as
can
new
fan the
business
flames
to
get
talk
a little
about that a
action
little
on
bit?
those
Yep.
matters.
Where
Good.
are we with the house studies?
We got a whole bunch more. We're still not finished yet,
Okay.
but they still keep dribbling in. So we're getting there, just very slowly.
That would be part of the discussion next month, right? With the
CPC,
historic, yeah,
CPC you mean? Or with,
with the, okay,
the CPC wants a
yeah,
biannual report,
yeah,
and I think one's coming up very soon, if
okay.
that's what you're referring to.
Well, also with historic district, that would be part of that discussion.
Oh,
wouldn't
yes,
it?
it would be, because they've included Parallel Street on that. Yeah,
Excellent.
absolutely. Good. Your motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second. I'll
All
give
in
it.
favor?
Aye. Good job, Bob.
Very good.
Great job.
Good
Thank you.
job.
Let me shut that off, guys.
Good work, Mr. Chair.
Excellent.
I remembered what I wanted to talk to you about.
What?